Hi, welcome to my short video on current accounts. This is section A3, current accounts, from the personal finance syllabus for the BTEC Business Unit 3, personal and business finance. So it's basically revision for this section, A3, current accounts. Current accounts are offered by most banks. Some examples there below: Barclays, Lloyds, NatWest and HSBC, probably all banks that you've heard of, but they're the types of banks that will offer you a current account. So what actually is a current account and what does that mean? Well, before we look at that, just have a look at this for a moment. This is just a knowledge scale. I'd just like you to award yourself a mark out of 10 as to what you think your knowledge currently is for this particular topic. So for example, you could be currently a 3 out of 10, and hopefully by the end of the video, your knowledge scale has moved up a little bit. We'll look at that again at the end of the video. So a UK current account is a bank account offered by all of the main banks on the high street. So for example, NatWest and Barclays and what have you. And to be able to open a current account, you just can walk into a branch and say that you'd like to open a current account with them. Obviously you'd need your ID and you'd need to make an application form. But that's the main way that you can open a UK current account. You can also open a current account online as well. The term current is used because of its frequency with which the account is used. So for example, it's used frequently, regularly, the current transactions relating to the account holder. That's why it's called a current account, in case you're wondering. And current accounts can be either in one name or two names, and a two-name account is known as a joint account. So for example, a married couple could have a joint account. So there are different types of personal current accounts in the UK, and it's important for this section that you have an awareness of the different types of accounts. So let's have a look at them. Most current accounts are available and they each cater to different needs and preferences of customers. So depending on what type of customer you are, might depend on the different type of current account that you're going to go with. So a standard current account, this is a basic current account offered by most banks, and they offer essential banking services and give you a debit card and allow you to set up direct debits and standing orders, online banking, and perhaps maybe an overdraft facility as well. Secondly, a high interest current account. Some current accounts offer high interest rates on your balance up to a certain limit, and these accounts are beneficial to those who maintain a significant balance in their account and want to earn interest. So say you keep maybe in excess of £1,000 in your current account on a regular basis, you might opt for one of these because obviously you're going to get given some interest on the money that you have in the account with the bank. Next up is a student and graduate current account designed specifically obviously for students and recent graduates, and these accounts often have features like an interest-free overdraft up to a certain amount. Next up, a joint current account, so mentioned that already, and these are operated by two or more people, typically partners or family members, and they're useful for managing shared expenses like bills and rent. A packaged or a premium current account, and these accounts come with extra features such as travel insurance, mobile phone insurance, car breakdown cover, and that's in exchange for a monthly fee. So you may be paying say £10 or £15 a month extra to have those sort of additional services attached to your premium account. And some people like this type of account. And obviously sometimes it comes with a fancy debit card, makes it look a bit more significant as such, or stand out a little bit more. Some people like the premium current accounts. Then you have what we call a basic current account, and these are aimed at people who have a poor credit rating, and these accounts don't usually offer any facilities, especially things like an overdraft or a checkbook. They provide basic debit cards and the ability to set up direct debits and standing orders. Online or digital current accounts, as you may know, there are banks out there that now just operate online. You may have heard of them. One of them is Monzo, another one's Starling Bank, are just good examples of this. There's probably others out there, of course, but they're the sort of main two that I'm aware of. But there's actually no physical bank. They're just available for services online or via an app, and you can put your money in there. But they still operate in the same way as sort of high street banks do, but they're just online only. And then you have what's called a children's current account, obviously specifically designed for people under the age of 18, and these accounts help in teaching money management from an early age. So sort of good fit, and also have good features like setting spending limits and parental controls, where parents can obviously set limits on children's spending and things like that. So those are the different types of current accounts in the UK. It is important to note that the syllabus only covers or expects you to know standard or packaged and premium, basic and student accounts, but I've given you 8 there to sort of bulk up your knowledge of current accounts and to also help you impress the examiner. So let's have a look at the advantages and disadvantages of each type of current account. It is important to note that most current accounts, when you open them, they are subject to terms and conditions of each bank, and you should always consider your financial need when open a current account. You don't really need to know that for the exam, but I just thought it was important to put that in there. So on this table here, we've got the types of current account again. We've got 4 there, and I'll do the others on the next slide. An explanation of each account, the advantages of that particular type of account and disadvantages of that type of account. And that's kind of all you really need to know with regards to the exam. You need to know what the accounts are, how they run, and advantages and disadvantages, and now I think you have sufficient knowledge there to be able to take into the exam. So let's have a look at 1 or 2 of them. Let's have a look at the standard account. We know what a standard account is. It's a sort of standard account, as it says, no additional features, no overdraft and things like that. Advantages of having a standard current account. Well, it has basic features like being able to set up direct debits and standing orders. There's no fees, so the bank won't charge you any money. You can instantly get access to your money anytime you want, because of course they will give you a debit card as well. Disadvantages of that type of account, well, there's no additions to the account, like having sort of a travel insurance or mobile phone protection or something like that, because it's only standard, it's not a premium account. You won't get any interest on your money in the account, so even if you had £50,000 in your current account, you won't get a penny of interest from the bank because it doesn't pay it on this particular type of current account. And also, if you had an overdraft and you went into your overdraft, then the bank would likely charge you high fees for being in your overdraft. So there you go. So that's the explanation and advantages and disadvantages of a standard account. Let's look at one more, because you can pause the video and have a read of the others. But student account, so obviously we know what that is, but it is a current account based for students who are at college or more likely to be at university. And the student accounts are designed by banks to try and keep customers for life. So what they really want is they want university students to sign up to a student account, and that they keep those student accounts beyond university, and so in the future those customers take out other products and services with the bank, so for example like a mortgage or a credit card, insurance and things like that. Anyway, the advantages and disadvantages of student account, well, you have the same benefits as a standard account. You also have sort of incentives and student discounts on a student account. It's normally fee-free or low interest, so there's no interest on overdrafts perhaps, so you could be £500 overdrawn on your student account for a whole month or maybe 6 months. Bank won't charge you any money for that perhaps, or they certainly wouldn't charge you a lot of money for being in your overdraft because of course you're a student. Disadvantages of a student account, well, overdraft could start attracting interest immediately after graduating, causing debt problems. So once a student has finished at university and they have graduated, the account normally switches back over to a sort of standard account perhaps, and likely you would be paying a higher rate of interest on that overdraft immediately after finishing university. And of course, if you haven't got a job straight away, that could start causing you some debt problems. And of course, as I mentioned, the account will lose student status once graduated. But that's looking at 4 different types of current account. On the next slide, we will look at some more. Okay, so here are the final 4 of the different types of current account that banks offer. So we have premium, basic, online and children's current account. Let's just have a look at a couple of them. Again, you can pause the video and have a read of this yourself. But let's have a look at premium and online. So we know that a premium is a current account with additional features like travel insurance or mobile phone protection, insurance, that kind of thing. But the banks normally do charge an additional fee for these type of accounts. But the benefits of it are things like these extra packages that come with the account, and sometimes it can work out cheaper if you take out a premium account rather than taking out these products separately. However, the disadvantage, of course, is that there is a monthly charge, and another disadvantage is that it can be more beneficial to buy these services separately. Online banking, let's have a look at that. So we know that there is no physical banks with online banking. So examples of that, again, I've given those to you. Things like banks like Monzo and Starling, they have no physical banks. The advantages of those accounts are that it's quick and easy to open. It's convenient for online management, normally through an app. You can see your transactions instantly. And of course, you can block cards via the app as well. Disadvantages of online banking are no person or customer contact as such, as in being able to go into the branch. Of course, you would probably be able to phone them, but it's not ideal for those who are not comfortable with online banking. But there you go. That's the remainder of the different types of current account and the advantages and disadvantages. So that's it. That's the topic covered, current accounts. Now let's have a look at some example questions. Now these aren't directly taken from the exam paper. They're kind of just examples of the type of question that you could face. I've kind of written them myself and just made them up. But I wanted to kind of give you a flavour as to potentially what you could get. You kind of get these type of questions. So you might get a question that's like this: discuss the differences between a student and premium UK current account. So you'd be expected to do that. That would probably be a 4-mark question, potentially. Question 2, what are the advantages and disadvantages of a premium current account? So again, we've gone through that. You should know that. And you would be able to probably do that. Again, that could be a 4-mark, maybe a 6-mark question potentially. You give 3 advantages and 3 disadvantages of each. You could be faced with a multiple choice question asking you to identify which one is a current account, for example, or a feature of a particular current account. So you might get 4 options. What is a particular feature, say, of a student current account, and they have a list of 4 options. So that would potentially be another type of question, normally 1 mark for multiple choice questions. Then you get those kind of scenario questions which are worth more marks, 6 marks, maybe possibly even 12. Unlikely, but who knows in the exam. But the scenario question number 1. So Tim is in his 3rd year at university and currently has a student current account. He will graduate in 2 months' time and has a £3,000 overdraft with the bank. He has a job lined up that will pay him £26,000 per year. Discuss Tim's options and advise what Tim could do with his current account. So, what do you need to recognise there? Well, I think the big thing is, of course, that he is in his 3rd year at university. He's finishing, potentially. So once he's graduated, as we know now, that particular current account will switch from a student account to a sort of standard account. And if he's got a £3,000 overdraft, that £3,000 overdraft is going to attract a large amount of interest. So you could acknowledge that in your answer as well. What should he do with that? Well, depending on the rate of the interest of the overdraft, would it be cheaper for him to transfer that £3,000 overdraft into a loan, for example? That could be another option. All things that you would acknowledge as an answer in this particular question. Question 2 then, Derek has a premium current account with his bank but is looking to address his finances and save money. What advice would you give Derek? Well, with the premium accounts, we know it attracts a monthly fee. Could be anything around something between 5 and 15, maybe £20 per month, and it attaches different products and services to it. Does Derek need those? Does he need travel insurance, those kind of things? Or should he look for them elsewhere and try and buy them individually? Would it be cheaper for him to do that? And that's the kind of answer you'd be looking there. But I just thought I'd give you a flavour of example questions that would be attached to current account topic. And where's your knowledge now? Have I helped you to understand this topic and increase your knowledge? Have you gone from a 3 to a 7, or wherever you were originally? Have you gone up to a 10 maybe? Anyway, good luck. That is A3, current accounts covered.